Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 大家下午好. Thank you very much for coming to Penang Institute today to attend the 2 centuries of transformation, the story of Seh Tek Tong Cheah Kongsi Penang. So 很欢迎大家抽空来到今天的新书发布会，跨越2个世纪的阅变，并成世德堂谢公司的史话。So today we will host this conversation in dual language because the book is in dual language. So I'm your moderator today. I'm Xia Wen. 大家好，今天会是双语的模式， 所以我不一定会把所有东西都翻译，不过感谢你们有一点耐心，因为双语，双语，行。Today, first of all, I would like to invite Dr. Wen Qibing, our Executive Director, for a welcoming remarks. So, 请欢迎我们的院长，宾州研究院的院长黄基明博士，拿督黄基明博士上台致辞。
Sorry about that. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this unique event. All the Mr. Cheahs and all those who are not Cheahs. Welcome to Penang Institute. Let me start by saying that we are very proud of the fruitful collaboration that we have had over the last few years with the Seh Tek Tong Cheah Kongsi. Now, while Penang Institute is known for its public policy work, we have always been equally interested in Penang's creative industries and its history. I can share with you the theme for last year's Georgetown Literary Festival, for example, was called Myths and Memories, was inspired by this very collaboration with Cheah Kongsi. It has always been a passion of mine to facilitate the exploration of local historical sources in Penang. It is found in our libraries, in our many associations, or in our schools. Too much of our history has been told from the outside. We need our own stories told based on our own resources. And in fact, that's why we created the Penang Monthly. The issue for this month has just arrived, so as you leave, you pick up a copy. It's free. Now, Penang Institute has been instrumental in publishing books such as St. Xavier's Institution, A Documented History, Pastoral, Thought as an Agrarian History of Penang, as well as The Great Hill, A Short History of Penang Hill. A biography of Dr. Lim Chong Yu will be published later this year. So look out for that. It'll be published by us. Now, the story of Seh Tek Tong Cheah Kongsi is very much a continuation of this endeavor by the Institute. I believe that if you do not have stories to tell about yourself, you will disappear from history. The struggle is always to immortalize your own experiences and to give meaning to them worth passing on with the generation. We are deeply proud of our multi-year collaboration with Tek Tong Cheah Kongsi, one of Penang's most historical clan houses. The book we launched today is the culmination of that partnership, documenting a 200-year-long legacy that has thrived as Georgetown transformed from a colonial entrepot into a world-famous UNESCO heritage city. It serves as a testament to our community spirit. Cheah Kongsi's story is one of remarkable resilience, of them surviving wars and social shifts to remain a pillar of our heritage. Our team conducted extensive research over several years, blending the analysis of historical archives and meeting minutes with immersive fieldwork to record the sacred traditional rituals of Cheah Kongsi. Let me already start by thanking the authors, Ms. Pan Yi Jie and Ms. Yeo Kui Peng, for work well done, for their dedication to the project. And of course, thank you to the Cheah Kongsi for having been very instrumental as the whole project proceeded. His collaboration has been very meaningful. And I thank Cheah Kongsi today also for the collaboration on. To our guests, thank you all for joining us for book launch. I hope you will enjoy exploring these pages as much as we have enjoyed discovering the wonderful story of Cheah Kongsi. So sit back and relax and listen to the authors talk about their work and the story of the Cheah Kongsi as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Lee. Um, I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna translate. Say 那个华语版就没有了哈，抱歉哈。现在有请
各位女先生们，大家下午好。感谢达德文基明博士的支持。身为斯德堂谢公司的新任主席，我也想在此机会一同欢迎及感谢大家今天刻意抽空时间来支持跨越2个世纪的蜕变。槟城斯德堂谢公司子画的新书发布会，今天的活动是由槟城谢公司、滨州研究院一起联办。毕竟这也是我们自疫情前就开始合作的一个项目。首先，我想感谢今天出席的嘉宾，尤其是努力已久的2位作者范怡杰和张桂佩小姐，以及槟城研究院营运总监王晓文小姐。当然，也忘不了每位共同努力出为此书翻查内容的槟城斯德堂谢公司的信里员。回想过去5、6个月，几乎每周都有固定的审查会议，之后就改成每月2次，直到排版都决定了才结束的审查过程。每当有审查会议，就会一直花上好几个小时，甚至常常翻查到午夜凌晨。所幸的是，翻查已完美结束，也代表着这书已如期完成，好让我们在去年冬至的庆典上可发布此书。说实在的，我今年才开始接手槟城谢公司主席一职，今天的成就也并非我一个人的功劳。刚刚也提到，这顶项目是疫情前开始的项目，意味着这顶项目经过了谢公司历任主席才得以完成，每个步骤都花上不少心思和耗时，如找精通中英双语的作者，整理中英语资料，写作、查证、审查、设计排版，还有最后的印刷，每项都是不可马虎。还记得之前常在谢公司遇见范怡杰小姐，梳理做手写会议记录，看看在谢公司的文件档案，每项每章都以淡黄的档案，可惜是因某种缘故，我们已找不到200年前谢公司的会议记录，也不晓得是否存在，所以谢公司那个时候发展决策 蜕变都得以靠仅有的记录、文件档案、长辈的口述或报章所得。我觉得这顶非常费时的项目，把泛黄的记录档案梳理一番，还得到厦门的故乡查证，把资料都纳入这本谢公司的史话中，好让后人可参考。时间虽长，不过这是必要的过程。槟城是西窝性历史研究的重点。谢公司不仅以槟城乔治市文化遗产之中，我们也参与各顶文化传承的活动中。这本书也是我们传承谢氏祖先给我们精神方式之一。但愿在座的每位今日后，可以更加了解谢公司，也可以考虑把你们的组织百年演变历程梳理成沉传的刊物。最后，我代表斯德堂谢公司向两位作者、槟城研究院历任主席、全体理事员以及所有参与本书编辑的出版的同仁，以致衷心的感谢，谢谢大家，祝大家新年快乐，万事如意。
谢谢主席 Thank you very much. So again, I'm not gonna translate other session. Can I have Dr. Ui, 还有主席 and authors, 心理员 come forward for a group photo. Small one, very fast. Okay, look at our very beautiful camera lady over here. Big smile, white smile, cheeky smile. Oh, wait, where's the book? No. Wait. How can we not have a book with the picture? Come on. Okay, one more time. Cheese, smile, look at the cameras. Cameras, are you ready? Cheese. Okay. Thank you so much. 谢谢大家，我们这一点点的小仪式给完成。好。Now we will move on to the next session. Once again, I'm your moderator. 大家好，我是今天你们的主持人。我们将会以一个比较轻松简单的方式来进行今天的对话。So today we'll be doing this in a more relaxed mode. I'll have both the authors here, and I'll ask them one very simple question for both of them. And then we'll open to the floor for question and answer. So 以很简单的方式、轻松的方式来对话。有请 author Miss Yo and sorry. All right. For those who haven't buy a book, please, it's available here. Thank you. All right. So it's okay. Nothing happened. Okay. Thank you so much. Basically, I will not be able to translate everything, but I'll try to ask my question in both language. And if they were to reply in any language, we'll see how it goes. All right? Please don't be stressed. You're gonna talk a lot later. I'm gonna ask you a question first, Dr. Teo. So basically, as everyone would have imagined, right? When you first mentioned about Cheah Kongsi, Ku Kongsi, Clan House, Clan Tongsi, the first thing that come to your mind is their building. Beautiful buildings. That's what we are showing you here. Buildings. That's a tangible which we are talking about. And we are very glad to have Dr. Teo here to be speaking on the architectural essence of the building and described it in the book. Maybe Dr. Teo, are you able to share with us um, what's the challenge and the issues that you face while you're doing this? Before you answer, I need to quickly translate it into Mandarin. Okay, so 一般上呢，我们一谈到很像谢公司还是公司还是怎样的，第一件想到的事情都是建筑，所以这不妨就是一定会有在纳入在书里面。就你可以帮我们就是谈谈一下你的 challenge，你的一些呃遇到的难题，或者是有趣的东西。有请 Dr. Teo。
Okay. First of all, I'd like to express my appreciation to Chia families, Getio of Chia community, and also Penang Institute, and ET and Owen for having me. And together on the journey of writing the story of Chia Kongsi. It is a very stunning and interesting story to me as an architect. Okay, so follow with the question from Xiaowen just now. Many ask me, how do I see Kongsi building? Do I see it as an architect or do I see it as a history? When you speak about history, you tend to think about people's connections, society, but not the architecture itself. So the architecture becomes a vessel of the spirit containing inside that vessel. Right? So to me, at least the 5 plants mentioned just now is actually a living organism. It's a living heritage. It is yet to be finished. It's still changing. So when you want to really know about a culture of certain group of people, you tend to look at the building that they are staying in. So Cheah Kongsi, the Seh Tek Tong, is one of a great example because the peoples that manage, the Cheah family that managed this building over 2 centuries did a very good job on keeping the origin of that building as well as suiting themselves into their new era that they are living in. So yeah, so undoubtedly, if we really want to know the history behind a certain culture, architecture speaks very well.
Right, thank you so much，谢谢你。可是呢，
我来翻译中文。
谢谢你，感到台湾。
中文 OK，建筑像一面镜子，它可以映射出每一个民族它原有的文化，以及它顺应时代之后的改变。如果你要很清晰的认知到一个文化背后是从哪一个谱系，比如说技术的谱系也好，人的谱系也好，民系的谱系也好，你都必须是从一个最直观的，可以直接在你面前展开的一个，比如说建筑，它是一个载体，而且它不会说谎，然后所有的信息在它身上都会流传很多年。所以如果要了解一个民族的历史文化，最方便、最直接的就是去看它的建筑。建筑，比如说我们通过这一次的研究，我们正式的引用了骨架做梁式构，可能这种 terminology 可能对大家来说很陌生，但是我很高兴在今天这本书里面可以正式的去引用一个正确或者说比较直观的一个学术的用词，能够更加仔细严谨的 把它这座建筑的特色用正式的引用方式来诠释。这也是我希望就是通过这本书能够 inspire 我们后来的研究者，或者说想要了解我们这个五大姓以及谢公司的人们，有兴趣的人们可以有一个更直观的。当我说到五架做粮食构架的时候，你直接就想到了福建，因为五架做粮食的建筑构造是福建最独有的建筑原型，然后它很好的保存在了世德堂谢公司。所以我非常高兴今天在这本书里面能够把这个信息传达。谢谢。
糟糕了，那个要怎么 translate？
五架做粮食 is a it's a
Five
Thai
purlins.
yes it's a Thai plus strat system.
All right. So basically, what she's talking just now, explaining just now, is a structure that is being utilized in the Cheah Kongsi building. Is a prototype from Fujian Province, where it is a signature sort of where it goes by 5 purlins with a tie and strut structure. That's the best I can do. I'm not from architecture. I'm gonna skip this. Anything else? Ask her directly after this. Right. So before I move on to Miss Pan, I actually have follow-on question for you. Okay. So now that you are seeing there are 3 paintings here, right? And these paintings are actually made and drawn specifically for this project. That is after studying the building structure, studying the history, studying the traces of changes that you find in Cheah Kongsi building now, and you translate that into this artwork. Can you maybe share a little bit like how long it take you to do this? Number one, and number two, I also remember you mentioning um, Cheah Kongsi building. This specific building is one of its kind. It's not really a fully traditional building in a in a Fujian style building, and it's very special. So maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on that. Do you need me to do that Chinese?
Yeah, I can.
Go ahead with the Chinese version.
Okay. First of all, okay, I follow your language. I'll speak in English first. I would like to also express I am actually deeply indebted to the late architect Tan Wee. Everyone still remember. Yeah, I'm sure that you still remember him well. He did a very meticulous architectural drawing earlier before us doing this project. And his drawing provided a very functional framework for me to produce this painting. And also would like to express appreciation to Badan Warisan. They also did a very good records 40 plus years ago, since 1984, on Cheah Kongsi particularly. That's the framework that I produced this artwork. So each of these artwork took me 2 to 3 months to complete because each of every detail I need to refer to the current situation, the current motif that is on the building. So it reflects the current appearance of that building, not formal version. Yeah. And it is a very of its kind because it is first of all double story building, and there's a lot of Western style ornaments. So where did all these ornaments comes from, and when they put it on the building, you can refer to this book. But it is a very interesting story behind because along the journey that Cheah clan developed, they actually put on their development language on the building itself as well. So yeah, I'll continue in Chinese. Okay. 每一幅画我都花了2到3个月去完成，然后每一幅画都精细到，你可以参照现在这座世德堂的真实的原貌。然后，它其实世德堂它其实经过了很多世纪的改变，几个世纪的改变。那么每一个世纪有每一个世纪的文化背景以及历史背景，甚至是比如说 colonial 我们的殖民背景的时候，不同的时期会把不同的时期的历史的元素诠释在建筑上。所以我的今天这3幅画里面，最终的成果，它其实就是 collect 了这2个多世纪以来，所有的文化信息。然后比如说像这一幅屋顶的这幅图，它其实上面的所有的装饰的元素，它其实是现有的，但是你可能参照对比以前的照片，你会发现出入很大。这是为什么呢？是因为每一次不同的工匠来到这修缮的时候，他都会完全置换，按照工匠自己的文化背景，或者是说他的这个艺术的喜好、艺术的造诣高低来决定他要画什么，以及他要装饰什么。所以每一次他们都是一个重新的覆盖，每一次的 craftsman 他们都会有不同 craftsmanship。所以这个就是它的独特所在。所以它是一座活态的建筑，它一直在变，然后但是它变了之后，依然保有它原有的这个语言。
I don't understand why I agreed to the dual language thing, so now I have to translate. Okay. So basically, yes, for the first part, she actually mentioned most of it in her reply earlier, but in the later part where she actually elaborated on the ornaments itself, is that whenever there's a new restoration or repair for the roof, all the ornaments will change, and that is depending on the craftsmanship of that particular craftsperson's work and change it accordingly. So whatever you see here is what is present today. It may not be the same according to pictures you see from say 10 years ago or before the last renovation or from a lot of renovations. So if you do have a series of pictures of the facade of the Cheah Kongsi, you will see that every time there's a new ornament on the roof, it actually means there's a restoration done on the roof. So that's to summarize what she has shared. So now I'm gonna move on. Why is this book a little bit different from the rest that's available in the market today? Is that yes, when you talk about clan Kongsi, clan house, the house is the one that you visualize, the one that you see. But in this book, we also like to incorporate a lot of the anthropological story, the human story, and that's where Miss Pan comes in. I understand, Miss Pan, you read through the life story of Cheah Kongsi through their meeting minutes. It's pretty painful. So maybe can you share with us like what did you find through the minutes, through the newspapers cuttings, through all this, and before you get here? I'm gonna speak the main version of the question. Over to you, Miss Pang.
Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I answer your question, sorry, can I allow me to take some time to express my appreciation? So this book has been a very long and meaningful journey for me, and I'm very honored to be here today to share with you. So I would like to first I want to express my sincere gratitude, of course, to Cheah Kongsi. This project has spanned for several years, many years. I'm very deeply thankful to all the chairman and trustees involved in this project for their continued faith in this work. And I really remember the, I mean, we all discussed together, all of you were there. Thank you all very much. So I also want to thank Gui Pei for her architectural expertise and dedication to research, and Liang Wong, our designer, for his design. Yeah, he couldn't make it today. Yeah, oh, he's there. Okay, he's there. So within the Penang Institute, my thanks go to Dr. Whitney for his full support for this project. And I'm also very deeply grateful to Miss Wen, who has been part of this journey since the very beginning. So she even went to China with great pay to Seh Tek Tong to collect some information. And then I also thank my history and regional team in the institute. And then finally, I would like to thank to our editorial team. So this book, we use Chinese and English language. So I really appreciate the medical team from our language, including Dr. Stanley Wee, Cheryl, Rachel, and Ilya. And I would like to also thank Nain for all the administration support for the book and all the publicity and meeting to make this book launch possible. Sorry, it's very long, but it's like so for many years.
Chinese.
So 再次很谢谢大家，尤其是谢公司的
简短再简短。
好。Sorry, so to answer your question, Xiaowen, so I guess for me, the most inspiring process of this book research is to be able to read through the many minutes from 1920s to all the way to about 1990s. But some of the minutes are more detailed than others. So what I am inspired more is definitely the 1930s one, which I shared with you during the meeting. So in the meetings, the minutes itself is content were written in Chinese, but they were meant to be read in Hokkien. So some of the language, the translation, I mean, it took me really some time to understand the context, the people they are mentioned about, and then the topic the trustee discussed about. And then there are certain kind of language translation. So the Chinese writing still continue until like 1970s, 1980s. But you can see the element of Hokkien, the way of using the Hokkien slightly decrease. So especially in the 1970s, and then the minutes become shorter and shorter. Yeah, so I think that this is just a function of the Gongsi being transformed. So for this book, we definitely consult so many secondary information by all the scholars, mostly from Penang. So also including the member of Cheah Kongsi, Mr. Tong Cheah. They all did the research in the I think, 1990s and 2000, and then in the 1980s, we also have some record from the trustee at the time. They also did some interview to find out what is Bode is one of the organization inside Jiagongsi to support the poor latecomer Jiasi members. So I would like to take the opportunity to mention we also consult the scholar, late Mr. Tang Ging Hong, so who passed away recently. So we are we are grateful to say that we actually it's it's more than compilation, but we try to consult the knowledge that has been accumulated in the earlier generation of a scholar. So then I also, through the process, I also understand that to understand the goals or any kind of social structure actually is the accumulated knowledge. So what so I always reflect myself, I mean during the process, how 20 years later, what we can have some maybe some of the different idea, not different, how we can build on from the existing literature. So maybe the minutes, many of them mention about human detail is like now you see from the outside, you will think Jiagongsi, yeah, it's very wealthy, and then it's like you have a very expensive architecture. But back to that time, the 1930s, we can see that the social environment is very different. So even for the trustee, many of them they need to rent the house from Dongxi. So because there are some part in the minutes in the 1930s, especially they talk about the rental collection. So you can see many of them are trustees. And then they also have details like even they had a tattoo. I mean, they need to put up their work as well and then to support the Kongsi operation. But they are willing to do that. So can see the legacy see actually still continue. So from in this book, I also try to we also try to put some detail into one of her small books. So for example, the life of Jia Juhui, one of the trustee and later chairman in the Gongxi in the 1930s. Yeah, so I guess that they are some of the very big men in Gongxi and also very important for Penang in the early period, like Jia Juyu and Jia Chengli. They are very so important, but we also try to incorporate those ordinary trustees to people. Actually, Gongxi is such a rich combination of different kind of people together to try to contribute to the Gongxi community. Yeah. Thank you.
Are you going to do the Chinese translation or
For me, will be shorter.
yeah. Please, please. I am not very
我
good.
我来替一节总结一下。那怡杰在翻阅所有的这个会议记录的时候，其实花了很长的时间。然后，但是前提是谢公司确实有非常规整、非常工整的这个会议记录的模式，所以才让我们有机会去仔细的翻阅，然后从中调取有用的资讯，来汇成这一本今天这本书。然后，其中比如说，我们在之中一些资料里面有找到，这个谢聚慧先生，他是一个非常特殊的一个，我们认为是人类学里面的宝藏，因为他能够给我们带来当时人的一个人格，甚至就是仔细到那个人格，他是怎么在一个组织里面去表的这个忠诚度是有多高。我们通过谢聚慧先生的 story behind 他的背后故事，还有他的每一天的会议记录，还有他非常娟秀的书法，因为他们的会议记录是用书法字来写的。然后从中呢，我们就能够看到当时的一个境况。所以我们觉得，在人类学方面，我们对于这一些这种星光是非常之看重的，也非常之珍惜谢公司能够让我们有机会亲眼目睹这一段珍贵的历史。
你太棒了，谢谢你。Okay, so basically, I would like to bring this back to also another person. Maybe how many Penangites here? Okay, good. Do you all know where is Tong Cheah M? Yes. Okay, somebody know. And that Mr. Cheah M is actually from this Cheah Kongsi. Right, and this is from your work, I think. It's from the, what do you call that, blue book or whatever.
So from the book, blue book, we can see the name, but I guess the research for Giant already have some earlier scholar already put it in the already have the
他已经有一个非
research.
常
It's quite a
对
well-known people, but
Very
then
extensive research have done. But would you, if I did not mention today, do you know that he's actually from this particular chair? Right, so it's in the book. Please read it. Right, so now I would like to open the floor for questions and answer. If you have any question, you can tell me either in English or in Mandarin. Both authors are very well versed in both languages, so you don't have to translate. And you can also name who is the person you want to direct the question to. Ask them, not me. So anybody who have any question? Yes. Can I have the microphone, please? Oh, but the online audience needs to hear your voice. You have a very nice voice. Thank you.
Can you hear clearly? Oh my goodness,
Awesome.
so loud. So I want to congratulate you first of all doing the detail on the patron deities. Most books of just doesn't do that, or skims over it. Is it you, Miss Brown, who did that research?
Sorry,
刚刚他问到那个 patron 的
守护神。
守护神，其实有被纳入在那个书当中。
Yeah, thank you for your
It's quite detailed. You
Uh,
have a whole chapter on it. No, my question now is, it's quite complicated. As you know, the Seah family have uncles and sons and nephews. Tong Cheah. What I want to find out, and what a lot of researchers, I myself am very interested in, the gods of the clan, the Kongsi. Who is Da She or Tao Sai, as you say in Hokkien?
大叔呀，
Is that Seah?
大西呀，
大塞呀，怎么？
The nephew of Seah. Okay, I got the answer.
Yes, thank you very much, immediate past chairman. Thank you very much for answering the question.
All right,
Right there.
just one more item.
Yes.
You mentioned 56 generations. Yeah, he's the hero of the classic. So, and he was a very important person. He changed things dramatically in history as well as in legend, according to the classic novel Fong Fan. If he is a Seah descendant, why don't the Seah clan have his statue?
Oh,
我可以回答的。
thank you.
我先用中文回答，你帮我总结。
你可以先翻译他的问题吗？
前面这位先生问的是，我们书里面有提到，谢氏从这里，从现在这一辈一直追溯到最早，我们其实追溯到姜子牙那一辈。那是否姜子牙跟我们现在距离这么远，然后是否是确确实实是姜子牙的后辈，或者说后世子孙？然后他是我们如果他是前辈，就是说如果他是祖辈的话，为什么谢公司或者说谢氏的族人没有供奉？我来从头开始给你们讲一个神话故事哈。姜子牙 ，OK， 我们说我们是炎黄子孙，所以我们都是华人，我们都是中华大陆民族。那么，炎黄子孙到今天，他其实经历了非常多的分支。那么最早从炎黄二帝来到姜子牙这边，已经隔了1000多年。那么这1000多年，我们经历了什么？我们不知道。然后从姜子牙一直在经历到我们有皇帝，有比如说秦朝这边，我们又隔了很多很多年啊。所以这边之间它是没有一个直接的血缘的指向，是没有血缘指向。那么很自然的，我们现代的谢氏，任何氏族，它都很少是以血缘的关系来供奉某一位前辈、某一位神族。所以我们现在能够供奉的是与我们有血缘关系，首先是有血缘关系，第二是有他曾经救助过某一位族人，或者说某一个族群，那么我们会供奉他。所以回答这位先生的问题的话，就是我们供奉祖先并不是单纯以我们的血缘关系，或者是说就是它有不同的因素。对，然后姜子牙其实就是所有现代中华子孙的，我们都公认他是我们的先辈，因为从他那一辈周朝开始到往后，我们才有了今天这样子，因为他是带领中华民族杀出重围，然后重新建立一个中华体系的一个祖辈，所以我们都公认他是我们的前祖先。
你这是在考我的翻译能力。All right, I'm trying my very best to summarize what she just said in a language that I think I can use. So basically, Jiang Jia is the one that is being recognized as the super duper ancestor of all Chinese is a common ancestor. So it's not specifically for the Cheah clan. So according to what she explained, so from this, I do not know who, until Jiang Ziya is about 1,000 years. And from Jiang Ziya to all the emperors is a few hundred years or maybe 1,000 years. And then from then on, it goes further down to what we know today with the patron saints and whatever. So for that purpose, so they don't trace by just blood relation. They only trace to as far back as who they can, and they'll stop there instead of going further up. And they also will look into who have contributed in saving or helping them during that particular time. Because without this ancestor person being named, yeah, and being saved, there's no us. So they start there instead, and they therefore there's no statue. I you have anything else to say? Right. So
Sorry for can I
yes,
add
please
up?
add.
So for this, for all you mentioned about compliment about the pattern set being so widely covered in this book, I think the credit have to go to the committee because the pattern set is so important for jargon. So actually, for the I mean for the discussion of the book, actually, I think it deserves a larger pages to cover, and then we actually based on the existing literature to put the content.
Yeah，所以刚才怡姐是说呢，其实那一个 patron saint 那一个部分，也是因为信理员们也有很大的贡献，所以他们也把这一些东西全部都让我们知道，他们自己现在在贡献的是谁，然后那个就是传承的意义所在，而不只是在就是 tangible 的那个建筑上。这 intangible 就是这一些细节也需要你知道你到底在供奉的是谁，所以才会出现在书里面。So I think this is also a very interesting part. So in the earlier records, if you understand English, you will refer to the English versions. If you understand Mandarin, you mostly read the Mandarin only. So those are not being merged together. And for this project, I think that's what we try to break through. Looking for dual language expert. I'm not, as obviously I can't translate everything. So and we have the right team to read through so that when we read it in English, we need an English person to understand. Or when we read it in Mandarin, it has to be make sense for those who actually already know some of the context. So this book is not a direct translation. It's more so a version where it's suitable for both English and Chinese reader. All right, please buy the book, everyone. Okay, so if there's any other question, 还有其他想问问题的可以举手。来，有请。
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you for sharing. I need to ask regarding from the architecture's perspective, is there any nail that was being used to hold the building, or was it just interlocking? And what is the weight of the roof itself? I believe there is the motifs are also using like Qian Bian and which is like previously. So just a bit of information on that will help. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Dr. Gill.
Hello. Okay. Okay. First of all, of course, there is no nails. No nails, as commonly understood that ancient Chinese architecture they don't put nails. There is bamboo nails. It will happen sometimes at the flooring when you want to connect the floorboards with the lintels. So that's the only part that you need a nail in certain circumstances, not every time. So the system of the roof, as I mentioned earlier, that 五架做梁 is a a combined tie and strut system. Strut means um, the sharp beams are sitting on. The tie system is what you mentioned just now, interlocking. So we call it tie system in a simple way. So it's a combination of tie plus strut system. You tie and also you strut. Some buildings, like Cantonese building, they might have only strut system. They don't use tie. Some architecture, like Chaozhou building, they use a lot of strut system. So in Fujian style, they use a lot of this combined system. So in this building as well, we use combined system. It also reflects the craftsmanship on that era because each of different generation of craftsmen, they will have their own strat system. They will have their own significance or representative of their family as well because they are from the carpenter family, for example. So they have a specific system. So if you buy this system from this certain family, you will get this particularly. You won't have like very repetitive same type of system from different family. So for this is particularly a signature Fujianese Southern Fujianese style, a 家作粮食. When I mention this terminology, it's very hard to understand. This 家, what is 家, what is 作粮? So you may have a very a more clear visualization through pictures and also maybe this artwork. You will see the structure system over here. And so this roof as well that you asked just now is a Sanchuanji. Sanchuanji means you have three sections of the roof, two lower at the side and one higher at the center. We call it Sanchuanji. Yeah, so each of Fujian style architecture, they will have the swallow tail. They bend, slowly bend up. So these are those signature and the symbol of Fujianese style architecture. Thank you for your question.
I think it's also about the weight, 重量.
重量，谁的重量？
屋顶，对吧？对啊，屋顶。
屋顶的重量，你是说
The weight of the roof
roof?
because of the 剪年 on the ornament. How heavy is the roof?
You worry that it is too heavy. Oh, okay.
From the building that was initially built versus after going through a lot of, I believe, the trustee already did some restoration work, and definitely, I think in modern times, you can get an idea.
Yeah, I think you get you cut certain points.
Yeah.
Because from the very beginning, actually the decorations, ornaments is a smaller.
Yes, correct.
And then by time pass, it becomes bigger and bigger.
Right.
It depends on the craftsman, right? And so when you say you worry about the weight, no.
I'm not worried about the weight. I'm not worried. I'm not
Okay,
worried.
you're
I'm
not
just
worried.
curious, what is the weight
Yeah.
like?
Okay. I cannot answer you about the weight, but one thing that I can answer is that the structure system can 10 times of its holding power. Yeah, the loading power is certainly bigger than what we have on the roof. And the ornament itself is actually not heavy. If you hold it by hand, you will know that it is golongkong inside, hollow inside. Okay, Malays comes in. Okay, it's hollow inside because you mold actually from the inside, which is hollow, and the mold is clean first, and then you start to tear to put on the pottery. So it is not really heavy from the appearance itself.
Right. So roof charms are not solid, therefore they can move, no matter how big it is. Okay. Next question. We are not taking this question. Thank you very much. Right. So, any question? Okay, there's one hand. We'll take two more questions from the floor. Sir,
For
to
Miss
you.
Pan, going through the records, roughly what year was English introduced into the minutes?
Thanks for your question. Actually, from the, I believe maybe some document will appear before 1920s, but what I can see from their collection is earliest is like 1910. Sorry, 20, but mostly it's like some notes. Actually, it's in English. So maybe in the 1930 began to have a formal meeting, trustee meeting. They use Chinese to direct organ. So actually, English one that earlier. I think the record not. I mean, but not in a formal way. Actually, it's in English. Yeah, and then after that has a translation to Chinese. Yeah,
And then back to English.
and then back to English. Actually, the rule book, the first rule book actually is in English. Yeah, 90. Yeah. Yeah. So
The Cheah Kongsi elders were English educated.
yeah, mostly.
Yes.
Mostly, but they do have some. When we look at the book in the 1918s and revised in the 1921, actually there are some you can I mean can see that there are some from Chinese educated, but mostly are English educated because they have a transition of a tradition of English educated, yeah, compared to trustee, yeah.
So they came over from China and educated in English.
I mean, at the time it's a post-colonial period, yeah, so kind of to blend into the society, yeah.
Maybe Dr. Teo, you can add on a little bit more to this question.
刚才这位先生的问题是关于会议记录是从英语开始还是中文开始，还是华语开始的？它其实是英文，然后在1930年代才逐渐出现有双语，英语加上华语，对，然后后来才又全华语全英语，
有一段时间是全华语，
有一段时间全华语，
然后才全英语。
然后为什么他们会是从英语先开始？可能你好奇，他们不是从中国移民来吗？但是可能有一个关键点大家忽略了，就是说，其实我们在槟城的谢公司，它其实是在槟城成立的，它是在这里成立的。然后成立他们一起组织了一个谢公司以后，才回到自己的家乡去，又在大陆那边再联系祖辈原乡的各位亲眷们，然后再组成连通两地的谢公司。所以他们一开始是在槟城受英文教育谢氏家长去成立的，所以他们的会议记录就是英语的。谢谢你的问题。
Basically, what Dr. Teo is saying is that even though they do come from China, but when they are establishing the Cheah Kongsi in Penang at that time, it's all done mostly in English because at that time it's a colonial Penang, and a lot of the things has to be registered or rule. Everything has to be in English. And after they established the Cheah Kongsi in Penang, they actually went back to connect to the China counterparts. Then they continue their connection until today. Okay, that's my summary version. Yes, one question. Is that okay with that answer? Thank you. Yes.
This question was, when was the earliest minutes of meeting that you all found in Cheah Kongsi? 最早的会议记录是哪 年的？你们找到？
如果是比较正式，应该是193，可能35年、30年那一本，对对对。
Because I have different way of thinking. Because Cheah Kongsi was founded in 1820, and there was 100 years of gaps. So I think the earliest meaning of my thing might have been in Chinese first, but it was not. I mean, it was
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
record, right? But then what you see is after 100 years, and I believe those trustees during the in 1920s, they are not the first generation of Cheah.
No.
They're already third or fourth generation, which has been English educated. But I believe the earliest generation that who founded Cheah Kongsi, they were from China and Chinese educated.
Yes.
So the meanings of meeting must have been in Chinese. Because, yeah.
Yes, thank you very much for your question. Do you have anything to add on? No? Do you have anything to add on?
Yeah, thank you for the sharing. Maybe that is because it do have the 100 gap, and then we see the first rule book actually in the 1918 one. So maybe those 1918 is so maybe before that one the 100 years maybe they have other record. Yeah, mostly it's like they because we know that so for this book the transformation we try to capture for every century. So for the first century you mentioned about probably they are more of the acquiring the land and then to set up the family temple. And then after the second century, meaning the earlier 20th century, they start to have some formalization of establishment. Yeah, but thank you for your sharing.
Yeah, so basically, I don't remember the dates, I don't remember the number, but I remember there's one page here in the book. Please buy the book. I read it a lot of times already. It's so important. So basically, according to research done by both our authors and also the contribution from Cheah Kongsi, the Cheah Kongsi itself, the establishment, the official registration date is much later in the 1850s to 90s. Right, that's the official registration date. But the establishment of Cheah Kongsi can be traced back to 1810. It's not even 1850, it's 1810. Yeah, and it's in English, the records were in English. During the establishment, the registering with local government is in English. So most of the things are in English, and the official registration was done by Chia Chu, who is actually English educated. So it's not. Pardon? 1910 was the registration. The exact registration is much later. Yeah, the formal.
The earliest record that we found on 1810 is actually in English. So we believe that everything should start in English first. And then slowly when there is more Chinese coming in from China, that we need Chinese language to communicate, then we start to have Chinese written documents. That is on the later stage.
1810. But the registration
1810.
of registration is much later.
The official registration of the Kongsi is 1910. It's 100 years.
Yeah, but the
afterwards.
EGS just sounds. So the earliest record we found was 1810. But EGS was 19.
That is the meeting minutes
Yeah.
and the rule book from the 1980.
I mentioned about should be
What was the record there? The 1810. What was it? Was
Title
it?
deeds and also
title deeds,
documents
but title
referring.
deeds must be in English all the
There is
time.
also records in Cheah Kongsi that relates to the title deeds that they mention like what happens together with these title deeds, the records. So there is also these documents. I'm not sure that if this document is written by the Cheah family or someone else, the servants, maybe, because they also help to record certain
Right. And just now question asked is meeting minutes earliest found, right? And that was actually in English. It's just that we are reflecting to that part of the question. All right. But if there's any other question, we can bring this offline and can be discussed further. If there's any other question, because it's 4:10 now, I'm watching. If there isn't any more questions from the floor, 还有人想要发问问题吗？还是你们迫不及待要买书了？ Okay, so before I end, maybe I wanted to ask also maybe Yi Jie first to share your conclusion, 你的感想. What do you feel about this project overall? What have you learned? Over to you.
Thank you. So, this project, I think, is really a very meaningful journey for me. And then, especially, I remember the time being with the trustee Cheah Kongsi together to discuss. I mean, we explore quite many, not only about only the content, but also about how do we kind of to embrace the legacy that has been established from legacy previous generations for over 2 centuries until now. So I guess through the knowledge exchange of the experience, I'm learning a lot from this process. Yeah, thank you. 自己好，谢谢。就是最后一些分享，就是很感谢这个过程，就是说谢公司所有主席、心理员的支持，然后在许多次会议里头，我们其实不只是在讨论内容，其实更重要的是我们去思考一些我们观察到以前的一些这公司心理员或是这个这公司如何运作的，然后我们也会讨论到现在，然后在那个过程中，我觉得是真心的去体会到什么是物质文化遗产，比如说是建筑方面，还有在非物质文化遗产，就是包括他们的如何规章、他们的精神等等。那我想在这个过程中，就是彼此都学习很多。谢谢。
You so Dr. Teo, you have any last words?
Yeah. Okay. Once again, thank you everyone, and thank you everyone coming here today, and thank you very much to Chia Zhangmen and and also Dr. Lee. I would like to express again about appreciation to having this chance to integrate the architecture in my language. Yeah, follows with my own experience, my working experience, and also my year-long, many years long research about heritage architecture. Like to mention about Dr. Ku Salma. She's not here today, but I met her for an interview 10 years back, and she asked when can I come back to Penang to contribute to architectural history. And here am I today with the Cheah Kongsi's book. So I appreciate this a lot, and back to your understanding about how we elaborate the architecture and also the history records, because different researchers might have different point of view and how we interpret the historical information. That might be different in your way to understand the history, but this is how we try our best to tell the story behind Cheah Kongsi. And I appreciate the conversation, like Miss Xia just now, that that's an interesting conversation. That I love challenge. So whenever there is mistakes, I think that's normal to do mistakes. So and I would appreciate for 你的指教。所以再次感谢大家，感谢谢公司的家长，感谢今天跟我们一起来听这个谢公司故事的各位。谢谢你们下午的时间，然后请多多指教，感谢修正，再次感谢，谢谢。
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Thank you so much. And here we end this conversation.